Good day, class. Welcome to PI 100, Results, Life, and Work. So, for today, we are down to chapter 3. We will be discussing here early education in Calamba and Binyan. So, our guide questions for today's lesson is first, who was Rizal's first teacher? Who were Rizal's tutor? 3. Who was Rizal's teacher in Binyan? Number 4, how was Rizal's life when he was in Binyan? Number 5, how did the martyrdom of Gumburza in 1872 truly inspired Rizal to fight the evils of Spanish tyranny and redeem his oppressed people? So we can start. Uh, we can start now. Just be mindful with this guide questions dahil ito yung magiging guide sa inyo all throughout our lesson. So, ina-expect natin na once matapos natin yung lesson, ay masasagot natin tong 5 questions na ito. Ano? So, lagi nyo guys tatandaan na ang pagtuturo ng PI 100 ay more on nagkekwento ka lang. So basically, itong mga nasa PowerPoint presentation ay ikekwento ko lang sa inyo, babasahin ko lang sa inyo, and don't worry because after this, we will have rationalization, kagaya ng ginagawa natin palagi. Ano? So, okay, let's start. Chapter 3, Early Education in Calamba and Binyan. Rizal had his early education in Calamba and Binyan. So, dun siya unang nag-aral. Ano? It was a typical schooling that a son of an Ilustrado family received during his time. So, it was characterized by the 4 R's. Ito yung tinututukan during the early education. Ano? During the colonization of Spanish. Reading, writing, arithmetic, and religion. So, dito nakafocus yung early education. Ano? So, ano ba yung ilustrado na nabanggit natin dito? Pag sinabi guys natin na ilustrado, ito yung mga Pilipino na nakapag-aral o pinanganak na may gintong pilak sa bibig. Ano, may kaya, afford nila na makapag-aral. So, instruction was rigid and strict. Ano, knowledge was forced into the minds of the pupils by means of the tedious memory method aided by the teacher's whip. Ayan, napakahigpit na mga teacher during the time of Rizal. Laging may pamalo. Stricto rin sila. Ano, kung ano yung kailangang ituro, kung ano yung para sa kanila ay tama, yun yung itinuturo nila sa mga. Despite the defects of the Spanish system of elementary education, Rizal was able to acquire the necessary instruction preparatory for college work in Manila and abroad. So, may hindi lang ngayon guys may problema yung education system natin. Even during the time of Spanish, may problema na nun. Ano? Pero kilala naman natin si Rizal bilang genius. So, even may defect yung system of elementary education during his time, na-acquire niya pa rin yung mga necessary instruction para ma-prepare siya para sa college once na pumunta siya sa Manila and abroad. So, it may be said that Rizal, who was born a physical weakling, rose to become an intellectual giant, not because of, but rather in spite of the outmoded and backward system of instruction obtaining in the Philippines during the last decades of Spanish regime. So, we already discussed na mahina talaga si Rizal, yung physical body niya. Yes, kaya nga siya nahilig sa, 'di ba, bodybuilding, sa different type of sports, pero hindi pa rin mapagkakaila na mahina yung katawan niya at maliit siya. Typical Filipino. Kaya lang, bumawi siya kung paano siya So, sino nga ba yung unang teacher ng ating hero? Ano? So, the first teacher of Rizal was his mother, who was a remarkable woman of good character and fine culture. So, alam naman natin to, elementary pa lang. On her lap, he learned at the age of 3 the alphabet and the prayers. So, 3 years old pa lang si Rizal. Sa ulo niya na yung alpabeto at yung mga dasal na madalas na ginagamit. During his time. It was she who first discovered that her son had a talent for poetry. Ano, So, to lighten the monotony of memorizing the ABCs and to stimulate her son's imagination, she related many stories. So, maraming story na sinabi para hindi lang nakafocus si Rizal or pagtuturo ni Doña Teodora sa pagmememorize. ABC. So, si Pepe or si Jose grew older. His parents employed private tutors to give him lessons at home. So, talagang nag-invest yung family ni Rizal sa education nila. Kasi nga, lalo na si Rizal, kilalang kilala bilang genius. The first was Maestro Celestino and the second was Maestro Lucas Padua. Ano, ito yung dalawang tutor niya. Once again, si Maestro Celestino at ang pangalawa ay si Maestro Lucas Padua. Later, an old man named Leon Monroy, a former classmate of Rizal's father, became the boy's tutor. So this old tutor lived at the Rizal home and instructed Jose in Spanish. So, after nun, Jose goes to Binyan. One Sunday afternoon, nung June 1869, Jose, after kissing the hands of his parents and tearful parting from his sisters, iniwan niya ang Kalamba at pumunta sa Binyan. So, this is during June 1869, tatandaan. So, siya ay sinamahan ni Pasiano, ang nakakatanda niyang lalaking kapatid, who acted as his second father. So, they proceeded to their aunt's house where Jose was to lodge. So, nakitira siya sa kanyang ah, tita. So, si Pasiano naman, kilala naman talaga bilang supportive na kapatid ni Rizal. Even nga nung pumunta siya sa ibang bansa, si Pasiano patuloy pa rin nagpapadala ng allowance or pera para mabuhay si Rizal or para mag-survive si Rizal sa ibang bansa. It was also almost night when they arrived and the moon was about to rise. Same night na yun, Jose with his cousin named Leandro went sightseeing in the town. So instead of enjoying the sights, si Jose na-depress siya and na-homesick siya. Sa Kalamba. Pero kung makikita nyo, magkalapit lang naman ang Binyan at Kalamba, 'di ba? Kung mapapansin nyo, pag pupunta kayo ngayon ng Tagaytay, 'di ba? After ng Binyan, ah, tama ba? Ay, hindi pala. Medyo malayo, pero medyo malayo siya, pero kaya within Laguna. Anong ginawa ni Jose nung kanyang first day sa Binyan? The next morning, Monday noon, Pasiano brought his younger brother to the school of Maestro Justinio Aquino Cruz. So the school was in the house of the teacher, which was a small nipa hut, but about 30 meters from the home of Jose's aunt. So medyo malapit lang. And siya ay, yung school niya ay sa bahay lamang nung pinaka-teacher niya. So, Jose described his teacher in Binyan as follows. Ito, he was tall, thin, long-necked, with a sharp nose and a body slightly bent forward. Medyo kuba, And he used to wear a sinamay shirt. It is a woven by the skilled hands of the women of Batangas. He knew by the heart the grammars by Nebrija and Gainza. Add to this severity that in my judgment was exaggerated and you have a picture perhaps vague that I have made of him but I remember only this. So, tinry niyang i-drawing din. First school brawl, yun. Kilala rin si Rizal, napapaaway din siya. So, in the afternoon of his first day in school, when the teacher was having his siesta, Jose met the bully, Pedro. Ayan. So, Jose challenged Pedro to a fight. So, nakipag-away siya. The latter readily accepted, thinking that he could easily beat the Kalamba boy, who was smaller and younger. The two boys wrestled furiously in the classroom, much to the glee of their classmates. So, si Jose, having learned the art of wrestling from his athletic Tio Manuel, defeated the bigger boy. So, for this feat, he became popular among his classmates. So kahit lilit-liit lang yan si Jose Rizal, natalo niya si Pedro na mas matangkad sa kanya. Kasi tinuruan naman talaga siya ng art of wrestling ng kanyang Tio Manuel. After the class in the afternoon, a classmate named Andres Salandanan challenged him to an arm wrestling match. Ito yung ipapatong yung kamay, sa bangko or sa lamesa and then paunahan na maitumba yung kamay. So, Jose, having the weaker arm, lost and nearly cracked his head on the sidewalk. Napatilapon pa kasi siya nun. In succeeding days, he had other fights with the boys of Binyan. He was not quarrelsome by nature, but he never ran away from a fight. Lagi siyang ano, painting, okay. Let's move on. Painting lessons naman sa Binyan. Near the school was the house of an old painter na tinatawag na Wancho, who was the father-in-law of the school teacher. So, related pa rin dun sa school teacher niya. So, Jose, lured by his love for painting, spent many leisure hours at the painter's studio. So, Jose and his classmate Jose Guevara, who also loved painting, became apprentices of the old painter. So, bata pa lang siya. They improved their art so that in due time, they become the favorite painters of the class. Kasi during naman talaga nung time ni Rizal, ang isa naman talaga sa pinagkakaabalahan nila ay ito yung sinabi ni Jose Rizal. So, here was my life. I heard the 4 o'clock mass. If there was any or studied my lesson at the hour and I went to the mass afterwards, I returned home and I went to the orchard to look for a mabolo to eat. Then I looked breakfast, which consisted generally of a dish of rice and who dried small fish, and I went to class from which 8 came out at 10 o'clock. So, I went home at once if there was some special dish na niluto ni Leandro, si Lea, niluto sa bahay nila. So, si Leandro at siya ay kukuha nito, and dadalhin dun sa bahay nung mga bata or nung mga kasama niya, which I never did at home, nor would I ever do it. And I returned without saying a word. I ate with them and afterwards, I studied. So bookworm na talaga si Rizal. I went to school at 2 and came out at 5. I prayed uh I prayed a short while with some nice cousins and I returned home. I studied my lesson, I drew a little, and afterward I took my supper consisting of 1 or 2 dishes of rice with an ayungin. Ayan, ayungin. Very Filipino dish. We prayed and if there was a moon, my nieces invited me to play in the street together with others. So, since maliwanag pa. Thank God that I never got sick away from my parents. So, dahil dun sa mga kalaro niya, sa cousins niya, hindi niya na ganun nami-miss yung buhay niya sa kalaro. So, si Rizal, in academic studies, Jose beat all Binyan boys. So, he surpassed them all in Spanish, Latin, and other subjects. So, some of his older classmates were jealous of his intellectual superiority. They wickedly squealed to the teacher whenever Jose had a fight outside the school, susumbong, and even told lies to discredit him before the teacher's eyes. Consequently, the teacher had to punish Jose. Lagi rin napapagalitan si Jose, pero hindi mapagkakaila na siya talaga ay. So, end of Binyan schooling, so ito, bakasyon na. Before the Christmas season in 1870, tatandaan niyo 1869 siya pumunta sa Binyan. Jose received a letter from his sister sa Tornina informing him of the arrival of the steamer Talim, which would take him from Binyan to Calamba. So, iuuwi siya. So, tatandaan si Talim. He left Binyan on Saturday afternoon, December 17, 1870, after 1 year and a half of schooling in that town. So on board was a Frenchman named Arturo Camps, a friend of his father who took care of. So, okay. Tapos na tayo sa early education in Calamba and Binyan. Kaya lang, bata pa lang sa Rizal, namulat na kagad siya sa kalupitan ng mga Espanyol. Ito na nga, dito na pumasok. Mas namulat siya during the time of martyrdom of Gumburza. On the night of January 20, 1872, after 2 years niya, about 200 Filipino soldiers and workmen of the Cavite, arsenal, under the leadership of La Madrid Filipino sergeant, rose in violent mutiny because of the abolition of their usual privileges, including exemption from tribute and polo. Pag sinabi nating polo, ito yung forced labor. Wala kang nakukuha at the same time, kailangan nagtatrabaho ka pa by reactionary Governor Rafael D. Izquierdo. So unfortunately, this Cavite Mutiny was suppressed 2 days later by the troop enforcements from Manila. And isa nga sa napagbintangan na utak ng Cavite Mutiny ay ang the Spanish authorities in order to liquidate Fathers Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, leaders of the secular movement to Philippinize the Philippine parishes and their supporters, Jose Maria Basa, attorneys Joaquin Pardo de Tavera, and Antonio Maria Regidor, etc. Magnified the failed mutiny into revolt for Philippine independence. Pero maraming nagsasabi na napagbintangan lang naman daw talaga itong tatlong ito. Actually, kilala nila ang isa't isa. Maraming nagtataka, akala ko rin dati, close yung tatlong yan. Pero hindi ganun ka-close sila. So, accordingly, Gomburza or Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, despite the Archbishop's plea for clemency because of their innocence, were executed at sunrise, February 17, 1872, by order of Governor General Izquierdo. So, 1872, ang Governor General ay si Izquierdo. Sinasabi ng Archbishop na maawa daw sa Gomburza, inosente daw yun. Kasi actually may theory dito na nagsusugal lang naman daw sila. Tapos para hindi daw mahuli yung sugal, parang ang sinasabi ay bala, pulbura, ganon. Na akala tuloy ng mga Spaniards nung nakita yung mga sulat na yon, nung mga pare ay nag 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 nag-aaklas sila. So this martyrdom was deeply mourned by the Rizal family and many other patriotic families in the Philippines. Kasi kilala naman talaga natin sila Rizal bilang talagang makasimbahan. Masyado enraged by the execution of Burgos, his beloved friend, teacher, and housemate, quit his studies at the College of San Jose and returned to Calamba, where he told the heroic story of Burgos to his younger brother Jose, who was then nearly 11 years old. So, 11 years old pa lang si Rizal nung namatay yung Gumburza. So, the martyrdom of Gumburza in 1872 truly inspired Rizal para labanan talaga ang Spanish. And para ma-redeem niya yung kanyang mga kababayan. And later, in 1891, dinedicate niya yung second novel niya na Il Filibusterismo sa Gumburza. So, second novel niya to kasi yung first novel niya ay No Limit. So, injustice to Hero's mother. So, bata pa lang din si Rizal, nakakita na siya ng injustices. After nung Gumburza, ito naman yung sa mother niya. Before June of 1872, tragedy struck the Rizal family. Si Doña Teodora ay inaresto. Ano ang pagkakasala? Sinasabi na yung kanyang brother na si Jose Alberto, tinry daw nilang magkapatid na lasunin yung asawa ni Jose Alberto nung kanyang kapatid. So the evil wife, with the connivance of the Spanish lieutenant of the Guardia Civil, filed a case in court accusing her husband, yung asawa niya, at yung kapatid niya na si Doña Teodora of attempting to. So after arresting Doña Teodora, yung sadistic Spanish lieutenant ay finorce na paglakarin si Doña Teodora from Calamba to Santa Cruz, na capital ng Laguna ngayon. Imagine niyo kung gaano kalayo yun. Di ba? That is 50 kilometers. Upon arrival in Santa Cruz, she was incarcerated at the provincial prison, where she languished for 2 years and a half until yung Manila Royal Audiencia o Supreme Court ay inakwit siya dun sa kanyang alleged crime. So, napatunayan na hindi. So, recounting these incidents of his mother's imprisonment, so Rizal said in his student memoir, "Our mother was unjustly snatched." So, parang ibig sabihin, nilayo daw mula sa kanila. And ang naglayo pa daw ay yung mga kaibigan niya o yung mga kaibigan ng pamilya nila at yung mga tao na tinrato nila as honored guests. Kasi kilala naman talaga natin sila Rizal. Chapter 1 nung discussion natin, talagang malapit si Rizal sa yung family ni Rizal sa mga Guardia Civil, sa mga Espanyol. So, we learned later that our mother got sick far from us and at an advanced age, tumanda. My mother was defended by Meswa, Francisco de Marcaida at si Manuel Marzan, yung famous lawyer sa Manila. So she finally succeeded to be acquitted and vindicated in the eyes of her judges, accusers, and even her enemies. But after how long? 2 years and a half siya. So, yan. Diyan nagtatapos yung discussion natin kay Rizal.